Okay, stream is restarting. Okay. Here we go. 700. Not allowed to use basic economics to crash the evil empire's economy by spending all my swag there at once.
I think we've already passed that.
I know we have, but we don't know where. Cannot sharpen Ionian stones for headbutt damage.
We're well past that.
Mm-hmm.
Try like an extra 100.
Can't wish I was the GM.
Well past that.
If the party has to pose as classical German composes, I will not declare I'll be back. Okay, I was thinking it was 800. Can't hunt drow with a spotlight in a 30-06.
Past that as well.
The default response to a social challenge in any game is not to just shoot them.
Past that as well.
We do not settle disputes in rock, paper, scissors with a game of Empire. Fake eye spots on my helmet do not help intimidate the monsters. If my personal carried firepower exceeds that of the battleship Texas, there's a problem. I cannot take the dementia, obsession, counting things if I'm not a Mulcavian. On second thought, I can't take it even if I am a Mulcavian. My character cannot have a noticeable impact, positive or negative, on a town's population. I beg to differ.
Yes, you do beg to differ. Your one soul-collecting wizard begs to differ.
That was not my fault. The DM stole an item he shouldn't have. Large dice are for rolling, not sound effects.
I think you were on the next... Yeah, I think we were after like 1,000.
No, we were not. Because we called it...
We were further down than this, though. By a few steps.
When plumbing the depths of depravity, I must remember to come up for air.
We're past that.
Any superhero offensive to more than 2 major religions is vetoed?
Past that.
Okay, I'm guessing it was 900.
Yeah.
I will not have an architect build my castle using hexadecimal base to screw with the power gamer.
Also past that.
Okay, I will not fill the bag of holding with dirt so I can just fill in pit traps as we detect them.
Also past that.
In the middle of
closer.
In the middle of Black Ops, a diversion is not blowing off the top 20 floors of the building.
Which building?
Can't set the bad guy on fire until after I've blown my persuasion roll. If I fail to make a bluff check, can't shoot him and change it to an intimidation check. Not possible to fire a gun with your teeth. Humming the James Bond theme in the middle of Black Ops doesn't give me any bonuses. Da-da-da, da-da-da. They make plate mail in a variety of styles. Crotchless is not one of them. Can't use my attack bonus as a substitute for the skill Hibachi Chef. I cannot take telekinesis as an auxiliary mode just to get free food from the snack machine. Dual-wielding spike chains does not let me use the battle cry, "Danger, Will Robinson, danger."
Okay, we are past this as well.
I know, but we're not far past it. Maybe 50. I will not convince the entire party to play Rocker Boys so we can be a Europe cover band. Can't take a live monk just for the tone. Cannot take a level of monk just for the tone. Druge is not a starting language. Drugi. After casting my one first level spell, can't leave the dungeon to go to sleep. Can't bribe the biokinetic to take my drug test for me. On second thought, let's not disguise the Wookiees in the Stormtrooper uniform. A runic facial tattoo is acceptable for my berserker, not a Betty Boop. Could you imagine a Betty Boop as the berserker's facial tattoo? When people ask about him, you just respond, "I want her to sit on my face."
Yeah. There's all the mods.
Okay. Oh
Yeah.
God. So did you see the one where this woman walks up and hands the guy some wet wipes and tells him wipe his goddamn face? He does a quick wipe and he's like, "Did I get it?" He's like, "Keep wiping." He wipes a little more. "Did I get it now?" "Keep wiping." He finally wipes again and I was like, "What am I wiping for?" "So I can have a clean seat later." Um, there it is. I zoomed in so we could see better. Having 1 point in every single skill in the game doesn't count as a superpower. Can't clean out the dungeon by renting an adjacent dungeon and being as obnoxious as possible.
Nor can you clean out the dungeon by renting out the adjacent dungeon and hiring all the people and monsters in it.
Goldfish do not get a bonus in a stare down. My mech gunner can't have a nude pinup in his cockpit, especially if it's of his pilot. "But she's hot" is not an acceptable excuse for my Black Ops solo dating the tabloid reporter. No matter how much we look, we're not finding the secret door leading to the back of the villain's hideout. Druids do not hibernate. Actually, the funny one was my party did indeed find the back door to the villain's hideout. So we just put like 5 or 6 warding runes there, all attached to different AoE spells like Fireball, Lightning Bolt, Radiant Blast, and a few others. We attacked the front of the base, and then all of a sudden, we heard a boom from behind it, and we just started laughing as the enemy mooks wondered what the hell happened, and then we told them. We kind of stopped fighting and just all went back there to see if their bosses would really just abandon them. The smoking corpse proved he had.
And they surrendered on taking it?
We just said, in exchange for the treasure, you guys could just walk away. Yeah, okay.
That's quite good. Glorious, even.
That was one of the things my bard did. Remember Fellas? God, I miss playing Fellas. Bards can be absolutely wonderful if you do them correctly. Before I make my next wish, I have to ask myself, is this going to shatter the very fabric of reality again? Any gun that can fire more rounds in one shot than I can physically carry is vetoed!
What the heck is that?
If given a stock NPC, I must play him as written, so Jar Jar has to lose the serape and the cigar. I do not get a bulk discount at Jenny's Guild. The flaw, obnoxious personal habit Teleport into romantic moments is only available at the maximum penalty. Telekinetic redhead chick is not a real superhero. Even if the rules allow it, I cannot circumnavigate the world on foot in one turn. Remember I told you about that fast changeling I
Yes.
built?
Uh-huh.
It
Are
it
you
would
sure this is not a list about you?
it would take him like it. To be fair, it would take him 5 turns to circumnavigate the world.
Depending on the size of the world.
Uh-huh.
Are we sure this is not about you?
Come now. I
You
mean,
said you were doing these things before the list was created, so it's a list about you.
no.
Partially.
There is a very, very small chance that the people I was playing with filed complaints about them.
Hmm.
Hmm. Goal widget. 1 second. What is the goal widget? I may have messed up, but if I have, I'm going to be extremely upset.
Hmm.
I did. Hmm. Whatever, I'll look at that later. Are you not watching the new stream?
I am.
Okay.
It just keeps pausing.
Uh, anyway.
I'm watching it properly, I think. Yes.
Nowhere in the Bible does it say ninjas have to line up in the straight line to fight me. I. That's actually quite funny. If escorting a high priority target, I can't biosculpt the entire team to look like her. Nerve gas complicates fast talk rolls. Yeah, it does. Cannot take the shape of any animal the GM doesn't know. The power of Christ compels me does not justify my blessed's actions. I cannot take life insurance out on anybody I have for the enemy background. Psychotherapy doesn't eliminate the alignment change penalty. Just because I've hit name level does not automatically give me groupies. I will not abuse the exemplary virtue to set up a highly choreographed dance routine with random crowds. Okay, what's that? Okay. Okay. Ow, why is everything cracking? Oh. Okay. In the middle of Black Ops, I cannot make an educational video. Now this is how we set C4 up underneath the target's chair.
You're forgetting the whoopee cushion triggers the C4
hmm
after a
We
time delay.
we do not need an elf on this dungeon crawl for the same reason miners need canaries.
Oh, ouch.
Because remember, old elves, the older versions of elves. Oh my god, they get a -2 penalty to con saves.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that I forgot about that one. That one always tickled me. I am not Bjorn of Borg. Before accepting a harem as a reward for my heroism, need to check with the wife. I don't get any equipment before the GM can Google it. If Australia doesn't exist, I cannot use my Australian accent, even if I am playing a space koala. I cannot bet the power gamer he can't field strip the grenade faster than me. Even if the rules allow it, I can't catch dropped cannonballs with my teeth without drawbacks. I will not make my castle halls 9 by 9 by 9 to keep out gelatinous cubes.
Amusing. Yes, they're 10 by 10. Typically, right?
The ability to give superpowers to characters is acceptable. Naming the character Captain Franchise is not. The most important stat in Call of Cthulhu is not movement. To be fair, I would argue it is. Because if you can outrun all the bad shit trying to happen to you, you get to live. Did your thing pause again?
It's still going.
Okay. Kiefer Sutherland does not make numerous cameos in my character's background, telling him he's destined for greatness. No matter how high my strength, still can't use the wall as a shield. I will not convince the entire party to play identical copies of the same character on the grounds we're sextuplets. No matter
Hilarious.
no matter his age, my bard can't start a boy band. Despite the halberd being 6 feet long, it can't hit monsters more than 5 feet away.
But it has reach, doesn't it?
It depends on the game.
Yeah,
Not all systems have a reach system.
true.
Even if it's been more than 2 hours since we left the bar, the dwarf isn't getting the DTs. No matter how practical, I can't have shotgun chucks. The town drunk is not our one-stop source for all mythos happening in every town. I will not base my Call of Cthulhu character off the lead character in Sling Blade. Even if I am pissed for working on my birthday, in the middle of Black Ops, I will not refer to my CEO only by his first name. If I don't have an instrument for my bardic song, an air mandolin won't suffice. After critting with a cannon, we can't bump the barrel of the gun over the, or we can't dump the barrel of gunpowder over the gunner's mate. Elves aren't marsupials. Even if we're freezing to death, I won't cut open the half-orc and shove the elf inside him.
What?
Do you remember what happened to the Wumpa?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Using
Uh,
precog on the personals to find out who puts out on the first date is abusing the power. There is no such thing as a tequila golem.
That'd be terrifying if it were.
Mm-hmm.
You get within 5 feet of it, you get the drunken condition.
I have a feeling it would get abducted.
Hmm.
So, what happened to the tequila golem? It got too close to the dwarven capital.
Oh no. Oh god, no!
What? What do you mean it got too close to the dwarven capital? Did it destroy the empire or something? No, they just abducted it and installed it as a centerpiece of the bar. Oh. But I mean, it has these
Especially if it has the...
it
Especially if it has regeneration.
it has powerful attacks from its limbs. Yeah, and they're dwarves. They don't give a fuck. They have hammers. They broke all the limbs off and embedded the body, the torso and head, in the wall of the tavern. Then they drilled a hole in its crotch, and now tequila flows endlessly from it. They've called it the Piss Mona Lisa. Free flowing tequila forever. Why do I have a bad feeling that that actually is incredibly accurate? Uh, a paladin with a British accent is acceptable. One with a Peter Lorre accent isn't. When I'm allowed a bunny as a familiar, that doesn't include Ava Fabian. Oh my gosh. Oh no, I get a bunny as a familiar? I think I'll just take, what's her name off of Space Jam? Lola.
Oh god. Terrifying.
Oh my god, why did they have to make her thick? I will not make a superhero that requires a graphing calculator to create. I cannot take the flaw enemy random pack of wild dogs. Threesome is not a specialty of the seduction skill. Shotguns are not a traditional part of Texan funerals. If short-changed at the Hong Kong deli, I will call the manager, not roll for initiative. There is something wrong with a second-level kamikaze. I
At
will.
least arrived the first time. Ouch.
I was not issued a flamethrower for my own personal amusement. Disable plot device is not a real skill. Nowhere in the plan does Franco go in where the others have been. Mumus do not
Mumus.
appear. Mumus do not appear in the starting equipment list for a reason. As a matter of fact, a 90-foot tall hostile pineapple is much more terrifying than a dragon.
Oh, ouch.
My last wish cannot be for Ragnarok. Trailblaze means find a path, not cut down every tree between here and there. Elves do not take 1d3 plus 1 minutes for their entire menstrual cycle. In the middle of a Black Ops, I cannot moonlight as tech support. Even if it isn't in the rules, I have to use the same scale miniature as everyone else. I cannot switch miniatures between each combat. Even if starving, can't suckle the elf chick. David Bowie cannot cast glitter dust at will. The issue is also closed! When asked to describe my character, I cannot leave I can leave out the hickeys. Even if he botches his medicine roll, I can't sue the medtech for malpractice. Kill the Wabbit is not a proper Viking battle cry. If you remember, there was an
Uh-huh.
episode of
I
Looney
do.
Tunes where Elmer Fudd was dressed as a Viking.
In a Viking ballad.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Chasing Bugs down where he just hides himself as a woman.
Uh,
The rest of the party would appreciate if I didn't take Munchkinism syndrome by proxy as flaw. Munchausen's syndrome by proxy as a flaw. I have to take this. Hello. What's up?
uh,
Um, was somebody short-changed the other day? Okay, in that case, thank the customer for the complimentary steak.
uh,
We'll just send it through back to the mail. Okay. I can let him know he's within the next week. Yeah, thank the customer for being so honest. Yeah. Okay, Alan, thank you very much. Okay. Yep. Just letting me know as well. Thank you. Bye. The issue was a customer being honest for once. Hello?
hello.
Um, you just
I'm
keep sending me
trans-
more and more mod list stuff, huh?
I'm transferring the mod list stuff over to the other chat. That way Jerry can see it too and grab the stuff.
Anyway, even if the rules allow it, I can't empty out the entire castle for a week with just a cherry bomb. Corporate pop whore is not a real prestige class. Dracker Heart Gouger is not a proper name for a paladin.
Depends on what kind of paladin, though. Wouldn't your paladin of
A paladin of
be a mod?
conquest would indeed be able. That would be an appropriate name for.
There.
But um uh but remember this list was back in 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
So
Back when paladins were
lawful
truly good,
good.
lawful good only.
Dwarves
Uh,
can't take trees as favored enemies.
they can take trees as favorite enemies, though, right?
Yep. I can't beat on the drow until he admits his name is Toby. Oh! Oh! Woo!
What is that?
Have you ever watched the TV series Roots?
No.
One of the character from Roots that is taken as a slave is beaten by his new masters until he admits his name is Toby.
Hmm.
I can't beat on the drow until he admits his name is Toby.
Hmm.
Oh. To be fair, if you have a drow slave, they were probably sold to you by drow.
Yes, and are rather disgraced and dishonored.
Uh-huh. Oh, you let yourself become a slave? How dare you? You're shame to the family. We'll kill you if we find you. But no, in all seriousness, slavery bad. If I have to specify that for viewers, I will. The script for the Baywatch movie does not cause more sanity loss than the Necronomicon. I cannot train squirrel mobs to abuse the grapple rules. I will stop referring to the power game as Min Maximus. By the way, remember 3.5 grapple rules? For every additional creature grappling, you got like a -4 to your grapple.
Uh-huh.
So 5 squirrels grappling pretty much means you have a +0 to grappling. 5 squirrels could make it so you do not get a bonus as a great worm dragon to grapple. Can you imagine 5 or 6 squirrels successfully pinning down and killing a dragon because they pinned it?
That is so ridiculous and so wrong. But didn't dragons then have like damage resistance?
Uh-huh.
Like you had to deal at least what? Over 5 damage, or it would soak up the first 5 or something?
Yeah.
Or more?
Yeah.
So the squirrels wouldn't be able to do any damage?
Yes, but it's still a funny scenario of like 10 squirrels pinning a full adult gold dragon, and the dragon's just laying there. This is bullshit!
Yeah.
This is severe bullshit. I'm going to, because he's currently being pinned, I'm going to pin and hold his mouth shut. Oh no. He's going to breathe through his nose. My 2 friends are going to pin and hold his nostrils shut. So you're saying 13 squirrels are going to successfully kill a adult gold dragon by suffocation by holding its...
by plugging all of its holes.
Mm-hmm.
That just... By the rules it works, but that's just... Oh. Ouch.
1001. No matter how bad the game is going, I won't straddle the table like Slim Pickens riding a bomb.
Ouch. Foam Finger of Death.
Foam Finger of Death is not a real spell. I cannot start with an armor class higher than my actual age. Not permitted to die from essence loss during character creation. Even if I bought the book at Walmart, I don't get a discount on disadvantages. By the way, there are quite a few games that you can play that you will die in. You can die in character creation.
How?
Well, there's one game, I can't remember what it's called, but once you pick your starting point, you then get to have to make some rolls to see what happens. Like as a young child, you start off as a young child. Let's say you're born to nobility. You roll a d6. 3 of them are good, or like 2 of them are good, 3 of them are neutral, and 1 of them is bad.
Uh-huh.
On let's say the 1, your family falls from grace, and you are left penniless on the street. Well, now, then there's another 6 roll you can roll, where the 5 and 6 are good, 2 to 4 are neutral, and 1 is negative. And this just keeps going for like 5 times. Which means you can have 4 party members die in character creation, and the 5th party member roll nothing but sixes. Starts off as life impoverished to some sludge workers, but he goes to college where he gets a free scholarship ride through. He then gets a deal on a ship where he gets massive ship shares. He then gets promoted and just owns his own shipping company outright. And you could have a character in the campaign that has no reason to ever want to leave his mansion on the adventure. Or you could have somebody who starts off in a mansion just die before he ever sees the table.
Ouch. That is quite crazy.
One of my favorite D&D YouTubers, Puffin Forest, covered that game where they had a 3-man group try and play. One of them got everything going right. Another guy basically ended up impoverished, not knowing having any real skills, and was just kind of there as cannon fodder. And for some odd reason, that guy didn't want to play the game. Imagine you build a character, and the game says, no, you suck.
I'd say it's time to do some rerolls then.
If I take the poison immunity advantage, that doesn't include radiation. Why? It's called radiation poisoning.
That requires the mutant trait, I believe, or some equivalent.
The whole expedition to the barrier peaks, dream sequence. Texans do not get revolvers as a racial weapon proficiency. No matter how many points I put into the skill, can't use sword swallowing to parry.
What?
Stone giants don't have heat sinks. Even if we are facing Yanti, my battle cry cannot be Cobra! Wait a second. Is your battle cry going to be for Cobra?
No.
Note to self, lightsaber chucks, bad idea. The expressive dance skill is not a substitute for language skills. To be fair, about the only expressive dance skill I have is God love the pelvic thrust. I will stop blaming every massacre we come across on Decepticons. Despite what the rules say, berserking does not improve my aim. Even if spells are use them or lose them, I will not waste meteor swarms on a goblin. I will not lay siege to Cinderella's castle. Elves do not get Viking funerals. Even if we have more ammo than fuel, I still have to cut down the tree with the chainsaw, not the HMG. If we have to add a new PC mid-campaign, he doesn't have to pass a drug test first. Can't use the Jedi mind trick to convince the stormtroopers the droids over there are the droids they're looking for. Can't start the game with 24 hours to live. The buff skill is no substitute for actually knowing the spell. Slings make poor thongs, and vice versa. Actually, I'm going to dispute number 1023. The bluff skill is no substitute for actually knowing the spell. I counter you with counterspell still costs a spell slot. But the only reason they can counterspell you is they believe you are casting a spell. So a bluff ability, making the arcane sigils, without putting the magic into it, could trick your enemy into thinking you're casting a fireball and they cast counterspell.
Uh-huh. That is something, but what if they have detect magic ongoing? Then they'd know you're not casting a spell.
Possible.
Situational, but edge cases.
It
as
has
always.
it has worked in D in 3.5. I told the DM I'm rolling a bluffs ability. I rolled a 38. The enemy rolls a sense motive. The DM's asking me what it was that I was rolling to bluff. And I'm like, doesn't matter. You'll know in a moment. And then I'm like, I cast Fireball. The enemy mage is going to counterspell that. And he just wasted his spell because I didn't actually cast Fireball. I just made him think I did.
Uh-huh.
The DM just kind of stared at me. And he's like, I only have 2 of those prepared. Shit. On his wizard. Because wizards have to prepare their counterspell.
And prepare every single spell slot.
Uh-huh.
3.5. Unlike 5, where they just have as many of the spells they have prepared that they can cast.
If I have 2 cyber arms, they have to be on different sides. My character cannot gain a level through nepotism.
That's ridiculous.
I will not use the D20 system to test the validity of any Kennedy assassination theory. My character has mastery level in singing. I do not. I will not convert to Elastri just so I can watch naked drow chicks getting their groove on. I might convert to Elastri. No matter how much he pisses me off, I will not raise the barbarian's dead mother-in-law. Just because my superhero game has 18 stats and yours are only has 3 doesn't mean mine is 6 times better. Monofilament does not automatically make the world a better place. Holding the crossbow sideways, gangster style, does not add to my intimidation check. Even if I wait for the ninja to jump at me, I can't crucify him with a repeating crossbow in a single round. If at any point in his lifespan my character can clear out every single cave of chaos in a single round, he is vetoed. My druid can't summon or change into a skunk. No, seriously, it's not allowed in the rulebook. Kangaroos are poor substitutes for tauntauns. There is no such thing as Viking-assisted suicide. Juries!
I will dispute that one. Insult the Viking. You get a Viking-assisted suicide.
I bet your mother hit harder.
And then you get a head caved in by a Viking axe, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Or else he gets his mother and she does indeed hit harder. And you have a head caved in.
Jury summoning is not a real spell. I cannot name my character anything that was suggested by Tom Servo. It doesn't matter if I'm just using to spot weld. Force lightning still gets me a dark side point. Erasing the compass on the map and redrawing it in reverse does not mean the villain will start building his evil railroad backwards. Ninjas do not have a hive mind. No matter how much ammo I start with, I can't impact the total world supply. We will not gut every animal we kill to see if they have treasure inside, like in video games. We can't stabilize the dying villain before we make our escape, just in case he was a load-bearing villain.
A load-bearing villain?
Yes, remember how when you kill some of the big bad evil guys, their layers just explode?
Oh.
In movies?
Yeah.
Haha, this entire mansion was in fact kept afloat by my magical power. And when you kill me, we all plummet. Knocks unconscious. Leaves C4 strapped to his chest with a 2-minute timer.
Yeah. In other words, it's sort of like Gortash.
What do you mean?
In Baldur's Gate, doesn't something bad happen when you kill Gortash?
I mean, not really. Something bad happens when you kill, the general. And it's honestly probably the single coolest part of the game. Seriously, he should have been the final boss. He is so much cooler than the other two.
Mm-hmm. They really did seem to flounder on their Act 3. Regrettably.
Act 3 is not floundering. Act 3 is full of shit. And it's really good. But the issue is that the second two villains are just kind of lame in comparison to him.
Yes. They don't have the same build-up.
Yeah. You watch him literally get impaled by a goblin, and then his head nearly chopped off. And his response is try again.
Try again. Harder.
Like, oh, buddy, that's, okay, that's intimidating. And then you can talk him to death. Which is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Gortash, you could literally talk Gortash into completely siding with you.
Really? Gortash?
Yes. You could get Gortash to basically turn around and try and destroy the Absolute. Because he loses the ability to control it. And second, the Ball murder trial. If you're running as a Ballist, you can literally kill Orin and claim and be the new head of the cult. And the cult will help you against the Absolute.
So, then...
What? Use your words.
Yeah. Ketherick is really missing out on a lot of content then.
Yeah, no, like, he is just so much cooler than the others. Like, he is the only one that really has an avatar to fear. Like, what's his name? Orin? She becomes the Slayer. Whoop-de-fucking-do. That thing isn't even that scary.
Not without a player guiding it, no.
No. Like, it's quite sad, honestly, that that Ketherick was the Act 2 boss.
I mean, it really seems like he should be able to join your side, provided you have Shadowheart go the star route, killing the whatever her name was.
Could you imagine if, by the way, the alternative version to that storyline is tell the Night Song, or tell Isabel about the Night Song before you free her. So she's there. and then tell her why she's there, that Ketherick revived her. The night song might change her tune.
Hmm.
But that was cut because there wasn't enough time. And I'm just like,
How is
Larian?
there not enough time? It was in early access for how many years?
Yes, but they also cut the Avernus map. They cut the whole Upper City map. They cut like 3 maps. And it just makes me sad.
Yeah. So much potential content.
hmm And then they said they were working on the DLC for it that got scrapped. That they ended up deciding to turn into Baldur's Gate 4 that they
You're
scrapped.
getting spam messages.
What?
You're getting a spam message from a bot.
Uh,
At least I think it's a bot.
mm-hmm. Ban. Okay. That's easy. And solved.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, if my troll is the smartest character in the party, the entire party is vetoed. I will not attempt to overdose on Rogaine, so I can disguise myself as a Wookiee. I can't summon anything in MM4 just so I could take the bathroom break while the DM looks it up. if the if the weapon has a 3-handed trait, I don't get a sidekick just for the extra hand. If, as a matter of fact, the high and tight buzz cut doesn't exist in Exalted. I'm not automatically eliminated from the crappy module if I guess the wrong murderer, like in Clue, so I should stop making random accusations. I was not raised by a pack of feral ironclads. I will call the elf druid by his real, impossibly long elf name, not just Lone War Leaf Blower. Oh. I will also not simply refer to the elf druid as the dirty, dirty hippie. There is no such thing as a dwarven battle perm. Canadian is not a real language. When I get to the custom weapons creation section, I will keep turning those pages. Even if the villain is lawful evil, slapping a cease and desist order on him isn't going to work. I will go into the villain's lair and take him out the old-fashioned way, not just wait outside his favorite bar with a rifle. In the middle of Black Ops, I do not have time to put a banana in the exhaust port of their AV9. Even if I think something the Demi-Lich isn't immune to... Even if I think of something the Demi-Lich isn't immune to, he's immune to it. Even if my sheet says otherwise, I can't max out the party with Delta-class cyberware immediately after character creation, or character generation. Even if I can prove at least half a dozen practical uses for it, I can't have a slip and slide in the dungeon for the dungeon crawl. I could actually think of some of them. Like putting the slip and slide right next to a cliff, and then just lure enemies to us.
And then use grease on the slip and slide.
Even if we are playing in the New Republic era, I can't call dibs on Boba Fett's armor. If my GM's wife is in the party, I'm not allowed to hunt anything cute. I do not get to put remote detonation switches into the weapons of any PCs I build for them. I cannot have a handgun that starts out doing more damage than most people have wounds. I do not have to check before each adventure that my fellow adventurers are not doppelgangers, Cylons, or pod people. Even if we are womp rat hunting, we don't have to dye the Wookiee fluorescent orange. I will go take out the villain's dungeon the old-fashioned way, and not use magic to reroute a river into it instead. After rerouting a river through the villain's lair, I will not pan for gold wherever the river comes out. Just because the game left the rules for stun setting glossily unbalanced doesn't mean I have to take advantage of it. Despite the name, I can't actually wear a cloaker. But I will fail to notice the cloak weighs over a quarter ton. Metal detectors don't automatically find Cylons. When told to dress like a goth, I will make sure with no uncertainty whatsoever they mean black clothes and eyeliner or chainmail and shield. There is no such thing as a weird saxophonist. You know, I kind of want to get invited into a goth party and just show up in like full Visigoth armor. Oh, we are not. This is not a Visigoth party. No, it's a goth party. Like I said, the goth party. Who are we going to go invade an axe? Are we going to get to hit Rome again? If 48 straight hours of pistol whipping doesn't convince the terrorist to spill his guts, another 48 hours probably won't either. A tattoo gun is not standard equipment in a mapping kit. The cryokinetic is forever banned from water balloon fights.
Cryokinetic?
Imagine you hit somebody with a water balloon and then instantly turn the water to ice. In the dead of summer. Even if the rules allow it, my sumo wrestler can't take the superhuman attractiveness. Could you imagine a sumo wrestler that just looks at you when you want to drop your pants for him?
Chaos.
There is no such thing as a brothel crawl. My IRSN will not use his powers to help fill out Wikipedia articles. My sumo wrestler can't have lap band surgery without affecting his martial arts skills. Everybody Wang Chun tonight is not an acceptable use of the mass suggestion spell. Tornadoes don't have Tornadoes don't have hit points. Even if I take twice as long, that doesn't mean I can take 40. I cannot try and throw large blunt objects at Mulcavians, Kobolds, or Kender, or their players. Even if the game is a crappy ripoff of World of Warcraft, my character can't speak Elite. Even if I roll a nat 20, I can't jump the Grand Canyon on a stock steamroller. In the middle of Black Ops, if a character dies, I will not disavow knowledge of him until after the mission is over. If the battle goes for 20 rounds, we don't have to stop and wait for the Zamboni guy to clean up the battlefield. I will not tell the rookies they can roll down their Y-Wings windows. My wizard does not need to shout out the name of what he's summoning every time he picks a creature. Anything short for adamantium full plate is not considered light armor for dwarves. Or anything short of adamantium full plate is not considered light armor for dwarves. Okay. In the middle of a Black Ops, I can't start a major corp war just because I'm bored stiff with the current run. Even if he used int as a dump stat, I don't have to carve this end towards enemy in the barbarian's axe blade. If I'm an assault mech, bump drafting is discouraged.
Oh, God.
After a successful Black Ops, before I'm paid, I will not immediately adopt a dozen children for the tax breaks. I cannot wish that someone else was an Oscar Mayer Wiener, or Oscar Mayer Mayer either. I will not cut the vault guards in on the hall instead of fighting them. 1980s breakdancing moves have their place. In front of the Vatica Prince is not one of them. Just because I was paid in advance doesn't mean I can let the incompetent expedition leader die. There's a limit to how much innuendo I can fit into one combat round. Even if it's just my character speaking, I will not claim Texas was stolen from Mexico. I will live longer that way. To be fair, Texas kind of was stolen from Mexico. I cannot put Nodens on speed dial. I will not attempt to clear out the dungeon using only Bangalore torpedoes. Picking his pocket means more than just turning him upside down and shaking him vigorously. I will not do anything that Bilbo Baggins hates. Remember that whole song and dance? From the Hobbit movie? Glenn?
No, I don't.
Oh my god, the first Hobbit movie has an entire sequence where the dwarves are in Bilbo Baggins' house and are doing things just because Bilbo Baggins tells them not to. And we'll throw the plates because that's what Bilbo Baggins hates. Even if I have enough, putting silencers on my minigun doesn't work. There is no such thing as magic murder bag of holding.
Magic murder bag of holding?
I will stop referring to the Eladrin as just the Elf Mark II. By the way,
So
that is what Shay is.
Elf Mark II, huh?
We have to refer to Shay as the Elf Mark II now.
No.
I will.
On the list of what not to do.
I view this list like the Geneva Convention.
Geneva suggestions?
No, it's the to-do list.
The Geneva suggestion list.
I will not shoot vampires in the chest with a large pistol, just so they have to explain the embarrassing, sucking chest wound. I will not take a phobia of anything that doesn't exist in the game world. If I have an ability that lets me alter minor aspects of my appearance that doesn't include girth. Add bulldozers to the list of things vampires are allergic to.
What?
Can't strangle a werewolf with a roll of Kodak film, no matter what we all know it's made of. In the middle of Black Ops, I will not use up all the claymores just because I don't want to take them back with me. I cannot have my mercy surgically removed. Paladin of Vengeance. My mercy, my lord! My mercy was surgically removed. Smite.
Uh,
Even if I'm in charge, I can't order the assault lance to perform a West Side Story dance routine.
oh God. Uh,
If given a Holy Avenger sword, I can't melt it down and reforge it into a weapon my paladin actually uses. Even if it still gives a combat bonus to everybody else, I can't just stand there and read a comic book behind the villain. In the middle of a Black Ops, I can't call my girlfriend to remind her to pick up some Chinese on her way home. I will leave out mating rituals when presenting a cultural exchange with the diplomatic ambassadors. Letting the red shirt guard the plane is really frowned upon, as it doesn't leave anybody to sacrifice to the Shoggoths. Cannot start the campaign on fire. Will not start all my skills at 89% just so I get a massive sand boasts early. I can't rickroll people with any video that increases their mythos lore. I will refrain from casting Dimension Jump and Magnificent Mansion on every police box we get pass. Gotta love the
oh,
Doctor Who
that's
joke.
a good one. That's a good one.
I cannot wish we were playing the previous edition of the game. Summoning a
Yeah.
water elemental right above a fire elemental doesn't work. There will be no more debating how much XP Mr. Tumnus would be worth. I cannot be the bizarro version of another player. Nowhere in my barbarian's description will I include the word jaunty. My eschew does not get bonus frequent flyer miles automatically during character generation. Doesn't matter how big we make it, a pit trap isn't going to take out the Tarask. I have to go into the dungeon, not just send in dozens of summoned creatures every morning. Fireballs don't have non-lethal option. I will ponder this after I've cast one at that guy we needed alive. My weapon is a +3 flaming flail, not my great balls of fire. I will not use a portable hole to cheat at golf. In the middle of a Black Ops, I will not look at the target's HR files to see if they have better benefits. I will not use my mage's Staff of Wizardry in lieu of a pool cue. Torching the forest doesn't get me any XP for anything living inside the forest. I cannot have any gun that lets me kill the villain without being in at least an adjacent county. One sec, I need to get some
Water. Or mangoes.
cough drops.
Yeah.
Talking non-stop for hours does take it out of my voice.
Yeah. Talking non-stop while laughing on occasion. Yes. Hilarious.
A second level commoner is not twice as common as a level 1 commoner. If we don't have a thief, I can't call AAA to Slim Jim the dungeon entry door. I will lick the Rodane's antennae and stick him to the wall while he sleeps. No matter how long his speech is, my sniper will not shoot the speaker introducing the target. During the side jump, My neutral can't do mean things to the scions while they are tripping. I will not try to feed the Quinn extremely salty foods to see if he melts. Our mission is to rescue the princess, not to bring Sexy back. Even if given detailed instructions on pages 50 through 51, can't take Cloud City on a joyride. I can't wish to change my vote on what module we're playing. Bassline is not an acceptable form of perform skill specialty. Thrycreen do not have the flaw obsession pretty lights. The party leader is not the one that looks best in a chainmail bikini. I can't make it rain before the invention of paper currency. If I make a cowboy with the young'un flaw, I can't name him Socks. If I don't have any points in medtech, I can't try faith healing. We will not end every adventure with a public service announcement. My character requires the GM to memorize the rules of siege warfare. He's vetoed. We can't trade the Rager for a giant pirate or padre. I am forbidden from using more than 10 source books to make one character. I will wait for the GM to finish his incredibly complicated riddle before answering correctly. I can't wish for somebody to publish the rules for gnomes or bards. The time machine is not for collecting autographs. I can stop rolling at 7 times dead. I am forbidden from doing anything that makes a passerby flinch. If even the rules allow it, I can't have an uneducated peasant start with every known language. If the rules contradict Isaac Newton, Newton wins. I will not send the villain a fake message his mother is coming, then attack him while he's cleaning. My brooding costumed vigilante can't take the flaw, dark secret, well adjusted to society. He's faking being edgy.
Ouch.
Look, Mech Warrior is 3 minutes from being done.
And then you can take care of all of the mods, which will take about the same amount of time.
That sounds like something complicated that you can do. Despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary.
With access to your computer, yes, I could do it.
Despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary, Dick Clark is not Shemzu Heru. Even if I spend the points, I can't take the USS Montana as an ally. My knight will not buy a Shetland pony just so he can use his lance underground.
A tiny pony. Oh, wow.
I still remember the spiked chain cheese monster is allergic to the improved Sunder feet. I will stop asking NPC how much XP they are worth. God. So is that part of an intimidation check? How much XP are you worth? The seduction skill does not have to hit on roll. a hit onto, yeah. No matter how well I make the bluff check, the Star Destroyer crew isn't going to believe I'm the new captain. Dressing up the wizard as a monk won't stop monsters from appearing beside him and attacking him first. One, when asked the game we want to LARP, Frogger is not an option. Do you get that one?
Yeah, crossing the streets in real life. The
Chewing hoga leaves does not make me goddamn sexual rhinodon. No, it won't help if we put a silencer on a bazooka. When,
to silence the explosion.
when approached by a famous historical figure, I can assume he's a time traveler and not a zombie. Paladins do too urinate. In the middle of a black ops, my buttocks is forbidden from making contact with the target's copy machine. It's okay to feed the Ewok after midnight. They're not gremlins. Flashbangs are not to be handed out to trick-or-treaters. A stagehand does not get a better sneak bonus than ninjas. I will not conga line the pattern. Superpowers that are only useful to art majors are vetoed. My last wish cannot be for a cage match between Cthulhu, Godzilla, Galacticus, and the Tarrasque.
God, that's terrifying.
I will avoid making wishes that lock the game in an infinite time loop. I will not go to FTL just to avoid red lights. Do you know why that's a thing?
No.
Because if you go fast enough, red lights blue shift to green.
Oh, jeez.
And FTL is definitely fast enough. So what do I gotta do now for this Mech Warrior thing?
Go to the Steam Workshop, get the mods that I have images of, and then download the various Nexus mod things. Also, you're still streaming your screen.
Uh-huh.
That matters. Alright.
Probably should turn that off, huh? For a little bit at least.
Probably.
Okay. Workshop.
Alright.
What workshop?
Steam Workshop.
Okay, what do I do? What do I look up? Yet another revamp works environment equipment?
Okay. So, you'll want to revamp works and equipment, arena control, battle grid orders, pilot overhaul, Mech Warrior 5 compatibility pack, yet another Inner Sphere mech, unsubsidiary, yet another Mech Lab mechs, faster, cheaper trial. Oh, that one's not required.
Arena control.
Yep.
With, like, no reviews. There is no let another revamp.
Yet another revamped works and equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Are you in the Mech
Yes.
Warrior? Is there any way you can view my subscribed items?
No.
Let's see.
Yeah.
So clicking on this
Yet
does...
another revamped
Yeah,
quirks and equipment, correct?
yes.
And and all of the other things that require it, correct?
That are required by it, yes. The
Okay.
equipment collection, the mech lab, but not the quirk and equipment patches, that's not required.
Then battle grid order.
Mm-hmm. That's very important for getting the AI squad mates to actually do things that are actually relevant.
Is this not a multiplayer game?
It is,
I'm just
but
buying
it's up
it
to 4
to
players.
pilot overhaul. Hmm. MW5 compatibility pack.
Yep, that's an important one.
Yet another is mech.
Inner sphere mech.
Okay, those have all been added.
Okay, so can you share your screen via the Discord so I can double check to make sure everything matches up nicely?
Hmm.
Or I can...
There it is.
Okay. So, click on the workshop, click on your... hover over your workshop files, hover over your files, down
Where?
below to the right, just to the right of the adjusted PPCX. Hover over your files, subscribed items. Okay. Now give me one moment so I can track this properly. Okay.
Yet another mech lab.
Mm-hmm. Looks like you're missing a couple.
I shouldn't.
Okay.
Oh wait, you had a whole second page. Okay.
Yeah.
Come on, let me
There were a
click
total of
things.
3 images that I sent.
You've sent me two. Yeti's jump ship.
Getty's jump ship animation remover, yet
Mm-hmm.
another equipment collection, advanced career search, yet another mech lab, unsubsidiary, yet another mech lab mechs. Alright.
Hmm. Yet another equipment collection? Yes. I
Yes.
already have that.
Okay.
Advanced career start. And yet another mech lab.
Mm-hmm.
I think I already had that one. Mm-hmm. I do.
Okay.
So now that's this? You said there was a third image, but there is only two.
It's big one on the left, and then there's two smaller ones on the right.
Ah. Okay.
And then there's a list of the Nexus mods ones.
Unsub. Isn't there just a list to click download this list?
Sadly not. There's no nice way of doing it for MechWarrior. Unlike some games have it, where you just create a list of it.
I don't know how much I believe that.
At least to my knowledge. I mean, if there is, I'm not familiar with a way of doing that.
Faster. And cheaper. I'm sure there's a way of doing it just in what do you call that? Nexus. In fact, I know there is.
Nexus has something like that?
Yes. Nexus has list managers.
Okay, that's new to me.
Okay, how do you make a mod list? It's a collection, is what they call it. Hmm. Hmm. Here you go. Glenn. That is Nexus Mod Manager telling you how to make them.
Okay.
Um. Well, this is just people talking about it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hmm. How do we do this? What's the name? Collection.
We start out with a couple of mods installed in our current file. So this literally turned our current mod profile into a collection. We can now give it a name. Load it as once and upload a draft, summary.
Here it is. Here's the list. Or how to make it. Do you want to turn your big mod list into a simple thing that everyone else can just click and download? Glenn?
I can look at that. But I don't use the Vortex for MechWarrior.
Hmm.
I just do the manual downloads. It's simpler. Because all the mods start with the loaders they need. The MechWarrior 5 mod authors at least are very good about that. But it should be simple enough to middle click all of those and download the appropriate ones.
Middle click them all?
Yep. Open in new tab. The only one that has special files it needs to select from is the additional emblems and portraits at the very end.
Okay.
And just the main file for all of those.
So what's this last one?
Oh.
Um,
Also, there will be a little bit of extra work with the one that is the known universe. Of
great.
just putting one specific file in one specific spot. You'll download both. You'll put the override pack into the MechWarrior 5 content packs folder instead of the
1
mods
second.
folder.
So this last one, it has
16 files.
yes. Do I gotta click each one?
The ones that I am using are just the Kurita emblems, the
What?
Rasselhag emblems, and then the BHS or HBS style 1, 2, and 3. Just those 5 files.
Okay, so which ones is it? You can't just list them off quickly and expect me to know.
Okay.
Kurita?
First one is Kurita emblems.
Okay.
Then it's number 9, Rasselhag.
1 second, I'm trying to download it.
Yep.
I think. There it goes. Kurita, number 9. That's downloading. Then what?
Then it is HBS style first pack pilot portrait,
Okay.
followed by the second pack of the same, and then the third pack of the same. And that is all from that one. Just to add some variety to the pilot portraits and give us some actually decent looking emblems for our mercenary company.
What's this? Second pack. First pack. And third pack?
Yes. And then you're done with that one.
Okay. Except only like 2 things have downloaded.
Yeah.
3 things have now downloaded. So the other packs didn't download apparently.
Or else they're just being slow about it. Hopefully that's all it is.
Nope, they didn't download. So this first pack and second pack did not come through. A cheapest style first pilot pack and second pile pack. No, do not download it. No, do not open in Nexus Mods. It's trying to open links. Not download. So where it's trying to take me is, I guess, open link. Let's see what happens. What virus do I get? It's not downloading anything.
What one's acting up on you?
The first, HBS Style Link Pack Pilot Portrait.
And it's going to a link instead of...
Uh-huh.
That's bizarre.
Same with the second one. I click slow download. It times down to 4 seconds. You know, from 4 seconds all the way down to 1. Allow this site to open an NXM link with Vortex. No.
Oh, you're doing Vortex.
No, I'm not.
Now, did you hit slow download of manual install or mod manager? So if you hit mod manager, that would be what happened.
I hit manual download. Slow download. There it goes.
I'm guessing you ended up clicking mod manager download.
Fully possible. Okay. Now Black Marauder. Files. Manual download. Slow download.
Sadly, this one's not one we'll be able to play all that often with all of us, because Shay's internet just doesn't work for it.
Yeah.
When he's at home.
Shay's internet works for almost nothing.
Regrettably.
So saying something is not something we can play often doesn't mean anything. So,
yeah.
Yet another faction variant.
Yes.
There's optional files in it too. Are we getting those? Or just yet another faction variant?
Just the basic faction variant, not the options. I can only see your Steam screen, not everything else you're doing.
That's fine.
Alright.
Endorsement reminder.
Because it's Nexus mods.
Yet another revamped weapon, only?
Yes. You don't need the extras.
Okay.
I don't have the extras.
Yay, we're playing a game super modded. It's not like that ever creates jank in a game.
Sometimes it solves some of the, Anyways. But yeah, the base game is kind of empty feeling. With mods, it actually fills in a lot of the gaps. So, it's not a game I would want to play very much unmodded.
Ouch.
So, if my bard dies and I start playing my sorcerer, does that mean I start taking warlock of the celestial levels right away?
No.
I don't go sorcerer or warlock?
Don't coffee lock it. So this one is asking for Money? Hmm.
Which one? That shouldn't even be a thing.
Um,
Or is it just Nexus Mod saying, please donate?
it might be just Nexus Mod saying to donate.
Give them the middle finger. At least that's my opinion.
Hmm.
Especially
Arena
since
control.
apparently within the last several months since, say, April, when they're supposed to be paying their mod authors, they haven't been.
Ooh.
Yeah. No one's been getting their donation points since April. So 4 months.
Really?
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's not great.
No. Not at all. Let me know how far you are. Or what ones you're currently on.
I just had to run to the restroom.
Oh, okay. And when you get to the Wasp and Stinger, those will be the yet another mech lab files.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, the other one that would be... Well, only one I can think of that would give potential confusion or trouble
Let
would
me
be
see.
the...
All I have left is Leopard, Better Mission Choices, Mod Operations at Mech Warrior, and Coyote Missions.
Yep. So you already have both files of the known universe?
Oh, maybe.
Okay. I mean... Okay. Then extract all of that into your mod file for the MechWarrior, and it should work out.
I don't know where my mod file is for my Mech Warrior.
Should be under your Steam. Let's see. Come on. Program files, Steam, Steam Apps, Common,
Patience.
MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries, MechWarrior 5 MW5
Okay.
Mercs, Mods.
Go to not download page. Show in folder. Oh, some of these are telling me I have like 20, 30 minutes left in downloading them.
Some of them are a little big, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Anyway.
Anyway, once all that is done, your MechWarrior 5 mod folder should look similar to that when it's in alphabetical order, hopefully. Plus the ones from Steam. I think that... Well, still leveling...
Anyway, let me
at least close
see.
to that.
I will not min-max the appraisal skill just to clean up if the price is right. Even if we cleared it out, we can't turn White Plume Mountain into a theme park. Even if the rules allow it, I can't put a spinal-mounted weapon on a bicycle. I can't have a destroid that requires me to take an ally advantage 24 times to crew it. Stan Lee does not have to make a cameo appearance in every single adventure.
Tell that to the Marvel movies.
You know, I do like how they can still have Stan Lee appear in the movies nowadays. You know, as a gravestone.
Mm-hmm.
Even if the rules allow it. No, even if I make it out of one even if I make it out of one continuous design, uh Drac a Drakensian castle doesn't count as one object. Just blow them out. The airlock is not a backup first contact protocol. Even if it's totally feasible, I can't indefinitely stall our rifles with a bureaucracy check. My Panzer hand doesn't get a vote. Smartass is not a character role. I can't have any feat in the main book if the feat is written in pencil.
Ouch.
In the middle of Black Ops, I can't download several thousand songs on the target's computer and then call the RIAA. There is no such thing as ambiguously Elven. Even if he is chaotic evil, I can't turn state's evidence against a fellow party member. Even if the boss monster has 100% magic resistance, my wizard can't go catch a movie. I will keep rolling until I get a superpower I can actually use. I cannot have any gun that has an NPC-only trigger guard. Even if they'd never suspect it, my Jedi can't have a flamethrower. No, we can't see if the party can beat Temple of Elemental Evil in under an hour. I will stop trying to put the halfling in a diabetic coma. If I'm just a few XP from 16th level, I can't just cast Fireball at random forest until I hit something. I can't have a gun that treats buildings as light cover. No matter what the dice just said, I didn't kill the villain with the first shot of the combat. Elves do not have to go to the bathroom in groups. Penguins will not fit into a standard ether jar. The Vulcan neck pinch doesn't work in campaigns without Vulcans! Just because my sword is intelligent doesn't mean he could do my math homework for me. It's a stranglehold, not an Ogryn neck pinch. Userana women are not instantly recognizable by their beards. Even if the rules allow it, I can't hit stone with Stone Cold Stunner. Having more beer than the enemy doesn't give me a morale bonus for the mass combat chart. No feat allows me to open beer cans with my pecs. The Death Star does not need a cabin boy. Overused cliche is not an appropriate favored enemy. I cannot gain drama dice in a game I'm not actually in. It's okay if you name your kindred Alucard, but I still can't name my Goryu Namflo. No matter how low orc intelligence, they aren't going to fall for a large wooden horse outside the gates of Mordor. Head, heart, run is not our posse's motto. No matter how much sense it makes, we can't paint the glitter boy a camo scheme. My first act as XO can't be a mutiny. Not allowed to use the replicator and transporter to fill the bird of prey with jello. I can't take invisibility to detect invisibility. My fighter can't use the monster manual as a to-do list. No making up patron saints. No part of the adventure is clothing optional. No matter what the dice say, I didn't just seduce Chun-Li and Cammy. It takes more than one pickpocket roll to totally derail the campaign. I can't wish that somebody competent wrote this module. Even if the game is dreadfully repetitive, our party's motto can't be wash, rinse, repeat. I will not point out the drow matron would make more money as an exotic dancer, even if it's true. Must at least pay lip service to the metaplot. It's not possible to stampede dwarves. When told to pick a published superhero to play, Johnny Cash is not allowed. Paul Stanley is perfectly acceptable. There is no such thing as a strap-on beard. It doesn't matter if he took the large advantage. We aren't using a user run as ballast. I will address the other PC as Lord Tryon, Eldritch Knight of the Winter Court, and not just as Side Maul, a Sidey Maul. Even the rules disagree, my character can still drown. I cannot take the following as my favorite enemies: Southpaws, Mother-in-law, or Kinash economists.
Keynesian
Yep.
economists. Yeah.
Even if I'm being strangleheld into playing a rather crappy campaign, can't use Constitution as my dump stat. We aren't luring the Arasaka agents out of the safe house by making ice cream truck noises. Splitting the atom will not at will is not an acceptable superpower. Ignore the metaplot is also not an acceptable superpower. No, the answer to the problem is not to make the Gatling gun out of bazookas. Can't base my character off a Smurf. Even if I could base my character off a Smurf, Gurkha Smurf is not a real Smurf. No matter what the dice say, my Renaissance inventor didn't just invent manned spaceflight. If the villain's 3-room lair holds over 100 brutes, can't just tip off the fire marshal. No rerouting the roller coaster through the Umbra. Can't blame it on my gun. Will not retrofit my Federation starship with fuses. Heavy bolters don't come with a pistol grip. I will stop referring to my rogue as a freelance subterranean locksmith. The lockpicking kit must be more than just a sawed-off shotgun. Dwarves are physically incapable of performing the dance of 7 veils. Even if the guy I based my character off was famous for doing it, I can't kill 8 guys with 1 bullet. Weapon focus nukes is not a real feat. There will not be any sexy in other players' battle mechs. There will not be any sex in other players' battle mechs. Could you imagine if you're a battle mech character and you go to get into your mech suit and there's just semen on the on your seat? Above it, there is a picture of the girl you have a crush on getting nailed by your pilot. By your pilot. How quickly would that turn bad?
I think you get a new cockpit and a new pilot. And post a picture of that former pilot being executed in all the battle mechs from that point on.
My paladin can be charged with sexual harassment if he doesn't watch exactly where he lays on hands. Any character that makes a seasoned Rifts player flinch is vetoed and shall never be spoken of again. I can't check the Soul Forge in as baggage. Will not reanimate dead familiars just to keep them around for sentimental reasons. Freeing slaves out of justice is good. Out of spite? Not so much. No, I can't have an HR Geiger counter. An elf war dancer chick in nothing but body paint is totally hot. A Vestin berserker in nothing but body paint, not so much. Basing characters off gestalt of historical characters is fine, unless it's Miyamoto Musashi and the mom from What's Happening. Gold dragons do not conduct electricity better than other dragons. The two types of halflings are not Flathead and Phillips. My mad scientist does not get to divide the party into control and test groups. For the last time, the elf wears the maid disguise and the troll wears the bouncer disguise. There is no such thing as a gnomish pygmy seeing eye rhino either! Just because I can play a charismatic Vester Mudge something missionary cleric doesn't mean I should. My Buddhist monk will lose the Cockney accent. Let's not taunt the Minotaur with how appropriate you fight like a cow. I will spend my martial art technique points on things other than blocking and running away. Even if the rules allow it, a laser sight doesn't add to my chain gun's accuracy. Yes, even if I have one on each barrel.
That would be hilarious, a laser light show.
The funny thing,
out of focus.
the funny thing is, many games, if you have a laser pointer on your gun, give you like a +1 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
So a chain gun with 8 of them, or 6 of them on one in each barrel, is just funny.
Mm-hmm. And then the laser pointers would get wildly out of focus from the recoil. And it would just be a dancing laser light show.
I still have one downloading at 1 minute left.
Not bad.
It's at 1.4 gigabytes of 1.4 gigabytes. Oh, and I have another one here that's 3 minutes left. Okay. I will refrain to take character roles that the game forgot to make rules for.
Uh,
Just because I'm playing an anthropomorphic Emperor Marmoset doesn't give me the noble advantage for free. Cannot
ouch.
bribe the target's HR director to start casual Fridays just to make our upcoming block ups easier that week. I can't avoid
Uh,
plot-mandated ambushes no matter how hard I try. No, I can't have a Maglock mini-slugger.
ouch.
I will not spend all my freebie points on buying uh, quan quanta kinetic auxiliary nodes. No, we can't weld the Star Destroyer's bridge shut. There is a 100 XP penalty every time we remind the GM of Bionic 6, or of the Bionic 6. If the adventure includes the birth of a god, we still can't file for holiday pay that day. In the middle of a Black Ops, I can't compose an offensive joke on the target CEO's email and CC the entire company. If the GM can't
What
lift
was that one?
in the middle of a Black Ops, I can't compose an offensive joke on the target CEO's email and CC the entire company.
Oh. Oh, but that one is so effective. Oh. Especially if you can time it so it delays the sending of it until the CEO is actually there. So it actually looks like he's the one who sent it. Ouch.
I need to figure out this goal widget thing and get that set up, and then stream for another 120 minutes with that up
Uh-huh.
for stream. Hmm. Oh. Okay, how to do it. Hmm. How to do this? So in here, add source. Browser.
There's a 100 XP penalty every time we remind the GM
Mhm.
of Bionic 6.
Mhm.
If the adventure includes the birth of a god, we still can't file for holiday pay that day.
I already did those. We were right here.
Ah, yes. If the GM can't lift all the GURPS books needed to run my character, he's vetoed. The 10-foot pole in the starting equipment list cannot support the weight of an exotic dancer. Scorched Earth Day is not a holiday, even in Cyberpunk. Nothing in Victoria's Secret catalog is available in Drakensian. Drakenson. Yeah. And that just popped up in front of the text, so I can't read.
What did?
The Streamlabs. There it goes. Okay. Even if they are better in combat, according to character generation, the USMC frowns upon using mercenaries in frontline combat. Okay.
I can't even see what that
Octogenarians in
is.
frontline combat. No amount of background will allow me to name the character Biff Bottoms. State troopers are immune to the effect of the delirium, so I need to find another way out of that speeding ticket.
Where are we? Right here.
No, 1307.
No matter how well I make my fashion role, l'Empereur is not going to the ball dressed in a Catholic school girl's uniform. Everyone was not gung fu fighting. Even if my character is Canadian, that doesn't mean he can take a 1.524 meter free step. I will pick my character's girlfriend based on something more than how much fire support she can provide.
That's hilarious.
I will not one-shot an Eisenwurst. The plan will not continue until the GM finds out who Zan Tabak is. I will do nothing that tarnishes Hello Kitty's memory. Gravity-defying breasts, while impressive, do not count as a superpower. I beg to differ. If you have gravity-defying breasts and stand along the route that the bad guy is using to try and escape, you could probably cause some issues.